What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Burndown YouTube channel. So in today's video, we're going to switch gears a bit, and we are going to work on the Twinnebago instead of the Malibu. So the reason for that is at this point in the game, I'm just going to pull the Malibu from the roster of trying to go to LS Fest West 2023. And the reason for that being is I don't have a transmission. So my transmission is being built by my boy Ryan Jans out in Florida. And I kind of ran it by him a little while ago, and he's like, oh, we'll see. Well, he helps on a race team, and they just kind of started the season with some of the races and things they go to. And then on top of that, he has a bunch of other work, obviously, that he needs to get done. He was really busy for like sick week and then fixing stuff after sick week. And those are all local paying customers that show up and have money right now for him. So we kind of talked about it. I kind of felt him out, and I felt like I could probably be needy and pushy and that guy, but then by the time I got my transmission, it probably wouldn't leave me a lot of time for like testing and then to put everything together, and it would end up being a last minute deal. So instead of doing that and being that guy and trying to bring something last minute and just having it be, you know, it always just goes poorly when you do that, we are going to turn our attention focus on the Twinnebago. So the Twinnebago is already in fighting shape. We could fire this bad boy up and roll it to Vegas right now. This is the exact state it rolled to Vegas last time, except it's got new bearings in the rear end and some new rear end components from breaking that doing burnouts. But aside from that, this thing is rock and roll. But what I would like to do, what I don't like about the Twinnebago, is this portion of it here. This guy right here. So you can see the top of it's right there. We have all this other room. I had to make this shield to duct and guide air, and then you can see we're only getting clean air right there. Everything else is obstructed. Obviously we did this for visual purposes, and we put everything here. Technically I probably don't even really need an intercooler, but that's another story for another day. We have a bunch of unused space, right? So to band-aid that, I went to the junkyard. We found some Chevy Volt fans, which are 12-inch spalls. We put those in, we rocked them all the way to Vegas. And then I came home and I actually lost one fan, and this thing stayed at about 200, a little over 200 in traffic. Basically the rest of the way home we lost a fan in Baker, and I didn't even know that we lost a fan. So it does cool and it does what it should do, but it gets a little warm going on up the hills. So I put the water squirters and stuff to kind of, it's basically like to band-aid the thing, but I'm like, yeah, and it works. And technically, I mean, it does, it works fine. I go over Baker grade, I go over all local grades that are here. This thing isn't really that bad, but what I don't like about it is when you're just cruising and you're on the long haul, like the long slope, and the thing's locked up and you're motoring along, it's all loaded down, it might have to lean on the fan and then turn it off, right? In my opinion, with all the stuff I've learned over the years with cooling and then trying to keep this thing cool and reinvent the wheel, is that you need enough volume and surface area of a radiator, because that's basically how it works. You have volume, which is the water it contains, and you have the surface area of the radiator, and you want as much as you can get of both of those, because that's essentially how it bleeds off heat, right? Well, like as you guys can see, I have a lot of room left that we're not utilizing. So I reached out to my friends over at Champion Cooling Systems. They're phenomenal. It is a great company. They're great people. If you need a radiator, please look into their products. And to top it off, because you're like, oh, well, they sponsor you, they're helping you, Dane, you're supposed to say that. No, because I met them because this is a Champion Cooling Systems radiator that I paid for and bought and put in here. And like I said, this thing works fine. I have no issues with it, other than I sized it small because I didn't know. I never put a LS in a motorhome. I've never worked on a 1-ton truck chassis, and you just go, radiator's a radiator, right? And that's what most guys think. So it is not, and there's more to it. Hopefully in a future segment, we're going to get into some cooling questions and stuff with Champion Cooling Systems. But that is it. That's my only gripe, is that. And then the other thing I figured, since we got a big, giant, fat, nice radiator from Champion Cooling Systems that should fit, hopefully. I mean, it's going to be tight. I was the one that did the measuring too, so if we have issues, that's all on me. But I also got a big, giant, the baddest brushless fan in the game, which is a 19-inch Spall fan out of a Chevy Camaro. And I know about that fan because my wife had a Camaro, and the thermostat went bad and the fan lights off because it goes into safety mode and it just goes to full wide open. And she came home one day and I was like, oh my God, what is wrong with your car? You know, it's a pseudo muscle car, and it has a little rumble to it. You couldn't hear anything. It sounded like a helicopter pulled in, or like a jet motor. So that was the day that I learned about that fan. I started looking at it when I researched it. Turns out it's a brushless Spall. That's what got me turned on to the 12-inch models. Well, now I have a 19, and I got the 19 because it'll fit the larger radiator we have. So this thing, after this modification, is gonna be bad, and we're gonna test. We'll drive it up some hills, namely, well, a good steep grade, and we almost made it with the other ones. So when we get everything done and tested and I feel comfortable, we're gonna take it back up that grade. We're gonna giggle and drive all the way to the top of a road base, so you shouldn't take a motorhome on. That's for a later video. So today what we're gonna do is we're gonna start disassembly and get all this stuff out of here. I'm hoping too that I don't have to pull this grill, although I can pull it out. It's not the end of the world. The hardware goes through. Oh heck, it's already working for me. That one already fell out, looks like. So one less one to pull out, I guess. But anyway, the hardware goes through, and then this whole grill will come out. But I'm hoping, we'll see what we can get done through here and then through the bottom. But yeah, I think today, let's just start stripping as much stuff out of here as we can get to. And then we'll just pull this grill off for safety measures, because I don't want to work around it anyway. So we're going to dismantle as much as we can today. It is Sunday fun day, so I'm not trying to kill myself, and we'll quit a little bit early so I can spend some time with the family. All right, here's a look. We're doing decent. I'm trying to get the turbo off. I gotta take the top one off and then the bottom one. Then we get this structure out, and then we'll kind of look at this stuff. But as you can tell, it's raining a little bit. So I'm going to take a break. That's my cue to go eat some lunch or something. It doesn't look bad. It should probably pass, but if it just does this, I just don't want to leave my tools out. It's not that I care that it's raining. I just don't want to ruin any of my stuff. Speaking of that, I did leave my 12-volt impact out, because it was one of those days where I was like, oh, it's raining, but I'm gonna work anyway. So that's one of the things. Make sure you clean your stuff up, or you're not putting stuff where it could get rained on. So my 12-volt impact went to the impact clouds in the sky. So it is in Milwaukee heaven at this point. And I'm thinking of going with the 20-volt Bauer system, because it's cheap and they offer a bunch of stuff. And yeah, I would like some bigger boy stuff, but I didn't want to spend the money on the Milwaukee like big boy 20-volt stuff. So let me know in the comments what you guys think, but if any of you guys have the Bauer stuff. But I'm thinking of doing that, and then if they get smoked, I can just go get new ones. Batteries are cheap and so on. So let me know about that. I'm gonna go take a break, and then we'll come back and continue if it quits raining. The drizzle rain has let up a little bit. I got sucked into the couch watching some NASCAR, so let's jump on over here. We're still in the same spot, and let me get this guy off, and then we'll see if it holds out. It's still kind of so I'm just going to kind of grab the tools that I need and kind of keep them close instead of having all my stuff out, so I don't have to like run over there and put stuff away in the rain. But let's pull this baby off. We can get this one off. We'll just kind of keep trucking, and if we get rained on more, we'll call it an afternoon. It is Sunday, so let me keep rolling. See how far we can get. All right, I think it is a good time to call it, so I can clean up. But here are little baby turbos. Look at this guy. Look at this little tiny guy. Look at that. You just pick it up with one hand, throw it around, throw it over the fence. It's crazy. So, making a bit of progress. We're not going to dive into any of this. It has started raining on me again, so we will continue as we go. These things we're sealing like dog do. So I'm gonna get some better like Clampco clamps for these. And then I think, I don't know, we'll have to judge if we want to take the hot side off, but I think we just have some V-band clamps on either side, then I can drop this whole hot side, which might be kind of the cat's meow. Just get everything out of the way. But I don't know, it's not terrible. I think I could sneak it in. Maybe we'll just get rid of this guy. I think this is an extra. I can't, it's welded on there. So yeah, I don't know, just thinking out loud. We'll see how we go. I think I'll probably end up dropping the hot side, so this Chingadera and all this guy's out of the way, because the new radiator takes up the whole thing. The new one's gonna go darn near to the top of this thing, so we'll have our work cut out for us. I might have to kind of sink it in depending, and then we're gonna have to account for fan clearance and all that other stuff. So hopefully we can get this stuff out of the way. We'll get the new one out here, I'll show you guys, and we'll start mocking stuff up, and we'll get the new and improved, bigger, badder radiator in place. I'm gonna clean up before my turbos and all my stuff get rained on. You guys know what to do. Thank you for the support. Like, subscribe, share. I'm out.